Hi, everyone. Welcome to our virtual Cooking at Home event. Thanks for joining us today. My name is Max Glick, and I'm the co-chair for the Santa Monica chapter for ARC. And joining me today is Carla, who's the co-chair of the Burbank chapter for Vamos. Hi, Carla.
Hey, Max. Thanks for having me.
Of course. Today we have some special guests joining us from Stage 13's travel and food series, Family Style. I'm sure everyone's hungry and ready to get started, so let's meet our guests. First up, let's meet our chef, restaurateur, cookbook author, and featured guest on season 1 of Family Style, Chef Nguyen Tran.
This is what people think when they think of spam. They go, oh, gross. Even though the funny thing about it is usually white people that make fun of spam, but they're the ones that made it. Was it World War I, Hormel? They think Hawaiians and Asians are all about it. We just stole it. We appropriated it like a mother.
Hi, Chef. Thanks for joining us.
Hello from space. That was the best I could do with that. Hello, thanks for having me, guys. Good morning.
Hi,
Thanks
Chef.
for joining us from the Starry Kitchen.
Thank you for having me. I can't wait to show you guys how to make garlic noodles so you never have to come to my restaurant ever again.
Well,
Or to the contrary.
let's not hope that. Oh, yeah.
So we can get the real deal instead.
Yeah, thank you so much. This will be a lot of fun.
So up next, we have one of the hosts of Family Style, Lana McKissack.
Have you tried durian before?
Is that jackfruit?
No.
It's jackfruit's really smelly cousin.
No.
Well, you just did.
That's durian.
All right, I like it.
I almost threw up just smelling at it.
Really? I'm sorry that your plan backfired and I liked durian.
Hi, Lana.
Hi.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for
How's it
having
going?
me. I'm so excited.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. This is a knife.
Perfect.
This is a knife fight. Got a knife
Knife
too.
fight.
Oh, yeah. Well, you definitely don't want to bring a pan to a knife fight. That's for sure.
Oh, shit.
So next, let's welcome the actor best known for his role on Fresh Off the Boat and season 1 guest of Family Style and soon-to-be Harvard freshman, Hudson Yang.
My mom's side of the family has always been really food-based. My mom's been working in the kitchen since she was 8 years old. My grandparents both came from Taiwan, and they opened a Chinese restaurant. My grandmother, my grandma, she was the first person who ever taught me to cook, so she always made these really Asian meals, like with dumplings and like noodles that were really, really good. And so when I first started cooking, she was the one next to me. So I'd always cook like my favorite foods, like peanut butter noodles, something that I ate all the time.
Wow, I do not look like looking at myself from 3 years ago. It's embarrassing.
Hey, Hudson. How's it going?
Thanks for having me. It's great to be here.
Thanks for joining us. We really appreciate having you here today. Are you? We learned from Family Style you really know your way around the kitchen. Are you excited to learn a new recipe today?
I'm super excited, and I wouldn't say like I know we're in the kitchen. I really enjoy cooking, and I want to get better at it. So I'm glad to be here today.
Perfect. Yeah, we're all students today for Chef Tran. So unfortunately, Parvesh Cheena was not able to join us today. He got an exciting opportunity last minute, but he sent us this video for us to share.
One day Sandra O is just going to be right there, and she can tell you herself. Hi everyone, I'm so sorry I can't make it. It's me, Parvesh Cheena, Foodie Fam. Right? They still dab. No? Okay. Enjoy. I wish I was there to eat the noodles. I have some work in Atlanta. I'm in Atlanta. And enjoy. And Foodie Fam. And thank you. Eat. I'm hungry. This is not fair. Sandra? She's not here.
Oh my goodness, the dabbing and the astronaut helmet. What is going on, guys?
Oh yeah. So now I guess it's time for lunch. Chef, why don't you lead us away?
Okay, so I think I'm basically teaching Hudson and Lana how to do this, and Carla too, right? Are you making this too, Max?
Oh yeah.
All right. So here's what I'm gonna do, because I have most everything prepped out. I'm gonna go through it really quick, and then what I'm going to do is not in a bad Food Network judging kind of way, but I'm going to judge you. I'm going to watch you, and because I think because then I can also give advice. Not to say it's validated or any good. So okay, so the many dishes we make, one is something we call the garlic noodles, and I don't know if you know, we started out of our apartment, and this has evolved since we started out of our apartment as a legal restaurant, like 11, 12 years ago. And we used to use like spaghetti noodles and linguine noodles, and now we use like fresh ramen noodles right here. So simple thing. Oh, can someone bring up the food cam? Whoever's look at that! Look at that! Look, this is my book.
Shameless advertising. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, this is the only book that's been sold on the market. I happen to buy it. It's very strange. So it's in the book. I don't remember the page number, but you guys have the recipe, so you don't need to buy the book if you want the recipe. So a couple of ingredients. This is actually a pretty simple recipe, but like anything simple can be complicated. Anything can be simple. It depends on which way you want to look at it. Really simple, okay? You need noodles, right? Noodles. But you don't have to use fresh noodles, because not everyone has access to fresh noodles. So you can use dry noodles. You need a boiling pot of water, which I've already advised most of Foodie Fam to start boiling, because otherwise it would be kind of awkward if we got to the point where they needed to make noodles. They just sat there for like 10 minutes, just looking over the water. Oh, by the way, really quick, here I'm gonna turn the food cam. Oh, you know what? I can't turn to it now because I dumped the pot of water. But imagine this is like, imagine like it's bubbling, right? When you're making noodles, you're making any kind of pasta, you want what they call a rolling boil, because it rolls, right? Look, you don't know much about cooking. Guess what? Not very hot water doesn't cook pasta very well. That's a very good rule. Very good rule. By the way, if you do ever work with fresh noodles, because they are now actually available in the market, the first thing we usually do with noodles is we actually break it up. Because what happens is that if you use fresh noodles, if you don't break it up, they become really gloppy. And gloppy, I don't know if gloppy is a real word, but it's sticky, right? They stick together. So you want to separate it, and you want to do as much as possible. And what you're doing, you want the science of it, you're increasing the surface area, right? Surface area. Increasing the surface area so that every noodle can be cooked. Because the worst thing that can happen when you're working with fresh noodles, if you take it out and eat it and you bite into it's like all like dough. I mean, it's not to say that's not bad, but it's not good. It's not very good. Okay, so you got noodles. I prepped out. Let's see here. Now I'm gonna turn back to the food can here. Let's see here. Let's see if I can do this. Okay. You need minced garlic. You need chicken powder, and we usually use lee kum kee. But if you're vegetarian, we use mushroom powder instead, right? You need fish sauce. This is the brand fish sauce we use. It's in Vietnamese called bac on cua, which means three crabs. Use oyster sauce. Oh, if you're also vegetarian or vegan and can't use fish sauce, we usually use low sodium lee kum kee soy sauce and oyster sauce. And again, if you're vegetarian, we actually use this mushroom-based stir-fry sauce to replace the oyster sauce. All right. So, the main thing is your mise en place. You just get everything. And honestly, to be really frankly, because my wife is she's the real pro in the kitchen, right? I'm just like a student. I'm just a protege, right? She's the one kind of person that can think on her feet. I don't think on my feet. I'm just a clown. So if I don't have everything organized, I look really bad, right? And when I have everything organized, I just look a little less bad. That's just kind of the difference of skill level we have there. So you chop your garlic, right? What you do is then you want to saute your garlic in. Last ingredient. I completely forgot. You don't necessarily need to use this, but this is brown butter. Do you see how that is actually dark, right? Brown butter. We use Kerrygold, and Kerrygold the brand Kerrygold it's really accessible because you can get it like at grocery stores. And we use the unsalted. Oh, but by the way, even though I'm showing you this, when you cook, don't use the stick. The block is way better. I can't tell you why. It just is. But if you want to spread on bread, this stuff. Look. I'm gonna. Oh, look how soft that is. It's so soft.
Wow.
It's so soft. And this is right out of the fridge. But the block, you don't. This is better for spreading on bread. But the block is better to cook with. And you brown it. The main thing to do. Are you guys gonna brown butter while we're doing this?
Well, if we don't have brown butter, what do we do?
Well, if you don't have brown butter, if you're like me and you have like all sorts of fats, I have. Let's see, what is this? Bacon fat, chicken fat. To be honest with you, don't worry about brown butter. If you don't have brown butter, just use butter, right? So you can use butter, clarified butter, or ghee, which is the same thing, right? Or there are differences, right? But if you have the time, you've done it before, you make brown butter. But just so you know, if you make clarified butter using ghee, you pretty much cannot make brown butter because what happens is you take the butter fats out. When you make clarified butter, you take the butter fats out. But that's what you need to make brown butter. Trust me, I've been learning how to cook, which is during the restaurant. I was like, oh man, what? You know what a shortcut is? Buy clarified butter and make brown butter. No, that's shortcuts in life don't lead you anywhere, kids. They just don't. All right, so you get your butter, and in the recipe, actually, it's half butter and half some meat fat. It's chicken fat, and there's something really special about that.
Are we supposed to have been cooking these all along, and I just didn't?
Oh, you know what? Because I was talking so much. Yes, this is what you need to do first. You guys have your 6 ounces of dry pasta, right?
Yes, and they're separated.
Okay, and Hudson's getting his. Well, here's the thing. The thing I should have taught you is mise en place, right? And also timing. This is actually the first thing. Lana, thank you for throwing me under the bus. You are correct.
Sorry, I just thought maybe I was behind.
No. This is the first thing you should have done because it takes about 6 to 8 minutes to boil like actual pasta. So what we could do is we could put it in,
okay,
and then talk like what we're doing right now in prep. Right? Does everyone have a boiling pot of water ready?
Yes.
By the way, those noodles are not all the way in. So this is already me judging you. They're not all the way in the water, just so you know, Lana, because I can see it from my camera angle. Are you gonna
throw me under the bus?
Okay, well, I'm supposed to give you advice. By the way, if you want to, what is it? Lower the boiling pressure. Add some salt to your water. It won't. It makes a minuscule difference. It'll boil it like maybe a couple seconds faster, but you can do that. I'm sure you guys knew that already, right? Everyone. Hudson, are you boiling water already? Did you already make your noodles?
Everything's already in. I'm waiting.
Okay, so here's what you can do right now. You can saute the garlic. So while you're boiling noodles, you saute the garlic, or chop the garlic if you haven't chopped the garlic already.
So, a question on the garlic. I noticed there was like 2 types of garlic. The kind that goes in and then the kind that goes on after.
Yes.
Do we cook all of the garlic, or are those like 2 different categories?
So I gave you the full restaurant recipe because what we do is we make the other garlic. It's just to garnish it. That's just if you want extra garlicky flavor. So for those that aren't reading the recipe, there's minced garlic and there's whole garlic in the recipe, right? And I'll answer that question from Raji in a second. The whole garlic you would fry separately, or no, here if you can handle it, stir fry it all together. But no. Actually, let me take one step back. It's not a good idea because the minced garlic will cook faster than the whole garlic, and what will happen is you'll end up burning the minced garlic. So I'd say cook it separately.
Okay.
See, I'm not perfect. My wife who's back here, she's perfect. But me, no, imperfect. Right? So that's
imperfections are what make us human.
The yin and the yang. So okay, let's see. Oh, so there's a question. How long can fat keep stored? Well, if it's pure fat and there's not liquid in it, a really long. But you know what? Let's look at the dates of some of my fat. Let's see here. Bacon fat, 3/19/2020. Oh my God, that was the mark of the beginning of the pandemic, right here.
Happy anniversary, bacon fat.
Bacon. Well, it's like a week after the mark. Okay, and that's bacon fat. And this chicken fat is. This is a cardinal no-no in a professional kitchen, but this is my home kitchen. There's no year on this. There's no year. I don't. Oh wait. This June 24th this year hasn't happened.
But it could be like 2002. How would you know?
Because I haven't lived here since 2002, and we haven't cooked yet. So. But the general answer is, for quite a while, you could actually store fat. I would say keep an eye on it and make sure, but for a long time, quite a long time. Can we use rice noodles? Yes, but in the final step, yes and no. The hard part about rice noodles is flavor doesn't stick to rice noodles very well. But in the final step, that might be the way you kind of steer the flavor in, right? So, I mean, ultimately, you can use. Why not? Why not? You could use whatever noodles you want. That is the answer. I'm gonna, and if I put your name, I apologize, Danae Costell. Trust me, my name is Nguyen Tran. Nguyen. I'm not gonna say here, but once I had a name that sounded like the female body part that starts with a V. That came out one time. That wasn't.
What?
I was more impressed and confused than mad. That was very strange. Okay, so what are we doing here? Is everyone sautéing the garlic?
Yes. So we have our noodles out. We're sautéing our garlic. What's the next? Are we waiting for that to brown?
I'm a bad teacher. Sauté the garlic in the butter that you're gonna cook it in. That's really important. Because what you're gonna do is you're gonna infuse that garlic into that butter. So here's the problem: if you've already sautéed the garlic, don't do it anymore because that garlic can't be cooked anymore. But if you have the other garlic, you can. Oh, and Carla, by the way, here's a piece of advice that I learned because, like I said, I honestly am not a very organized cook. Is that especially in cooking, if you're running behind in something, you can always take the pan off the heat to stop the cooking process a little bit. That, and especially when you're like sautéing garlic, that even if you feel like you're an amateur, that's not because you didn't burn it, right? You didn't burn the garlic, right? No, but I'm not kidding. Like that happened to me. That happens to me a lot. So taking it off the flame if you're in the middle of other stuff and you're trying to juggle is a really important lesson. Did someone have a kitchen accident? Was there a kitchen nightmare somewhere?
It wasn't me. It was my father, who's not even part of the cooking.
Jeff, get out. Jeff.
Hey, get out of the kitchen, boy.
Hey, everyone. There's Hudson's father, Jeff Yang. You may have seen him on CNN and other news outlets there. He's famous. And he has a book with his friend, Phil, coming out soon. But anyway, enough of plugging someone else's book. There's always mine right here. This one right here. So if you can, sauté the garlic in the butter. But once you've sautéed it, remove it from the heat. And something I did is, I actually did this earlier. I'm going to move. So I actually pre-sautéed it right here. I don't know if you can see that. Oh, yeah, here you go. See, I pre-sautéed it and I removed it. There's a reason for that. Part of the reason is I didn't want to create a larger mess for my wife to clean up because I'm going to the zoo with my son right after this, and she's going to hate me. That's number one. Number two is because there's something to be said if when you're using the same pan to cook all your ingredients, because then all those flavors meld. Because then the other thing we're going to do after we saute the garlic has ever, I mean, that's already been done.
Well, so the recipe says the butter and the schmaltz. So do we not use schmaltz if we have brown butter, or you use both no matter what?
The answer is whatever you feel like. The restaurant recipe is a combination. By the way, schmaltz,
okay,
I believe is the Yiddish word for chicken fat. So just I'm not Jewish. I don't know if you. I mean, I could be half. But you didn't know that. But no, it's half. So the idea is half meat fat or half other fat and half butter. And if you marry those, it makes an incredible flavor.
And so we put that into the garlic.
Okay? Let me take another step back because I'm a bad teacher today. So whatever you saute the garlic in, if you can, I know you guys were sauteed it. You want to mix the two fats together and saute the garlic in that, because what will happen is the garlic flavor will infuse into those fats. So if you're doing half brown butter and half chicken fat, or half normal butter and half bacon fat, or just all butter, you want to saute the garlic in that. Because then that will give you the extra layer of garlic flavor. Because then you'll have them. We have a cameo appearance. I have a cameo. Just look up my son Killian. Hey, there he is. And there he goes. Woof, woof. And there he's gone, like Kaiser Soze. He's gone.
How I see.
I love The Usual Suspects. I'm sorry. That's oh, he's back. He's back.
He's back.
Okay, so you want to saute the garlic in whatever fats that you choose to use for this recipe is the answer. So,
By the way, I'm currently in Jacksonville, Florida, and I went to the store and tried to get chicken fat, and I said, "Do you have schmaltz?" And they were like, "Schmaltz," and I was like, "Chicken schmaltz," and they said, "Chicken stock," and I said, "No," and then I showed them the word, and they were like, "I've never heard of this," and I said, "Okay, cool." So I made it myself last night. I don't know if it's good, but I tried.
Good. The chicken fat. So you took chicken skin.
Yes.
And then you made yourself a tasty snack of as fried chicken skin, and then took the fat from that, right?
I just made the fat. I didn't eat the skin.
Blasphemy! Because here's what you could have done. Okay, let's say you didn't eat the skin. You know what you could have done? You could have crumbled it all over your noodles for an extra crunchy element.
Oh, that's a good idea. Okay, next time.
Wait, hey Hudson, you are awfully quiet over there. Hey, this is just my what I think you're the most famous person here, and we haven't heard anything from you.
I had to mute my microphone because my dad was running around. See, he's still doing it. He's running around, he's cleaning up the mess and making a lot of noise in the background with his plates. So I didn't. Yeah, but you can wait until it's over or something.
Jeff Gang, living in the shadow of your son. Deal with it, Jeff. Deal with it.
Yeah, deal with it, Dad. Starve yourself. Eat later. No.
You love yourself, okay? Your time's coming up. Where are you at? Where are you at, Hudson?
I am done with it. I'm just waiting for the noodles to cook and whatever the next step is. So.
Oh, don't forget to try the noodles because you want.
I did, of course, yeah.
Yeah, preferably. I mean, I like them al dente, but remember with dry noodles, they're gonna look a little raw in the middle, but you have to judge it by the way it tastes.
Yeah, I've been every so often.
Okay, cool. So let's see here. We sauteed garlic. We're making noodles, right? So the next thing is we're gonna mix the dry ingredients and stir fry it with the fish sauce and the oyster sauce. One thing that this is just a piece of advice. When you use dry ingredients from a cookbook, okay, you see this? This is sugar, right? This is sugar. You see this right here? See how it's over the spoon?
Yes.
We would call that a heaping spoon of sugar. So usually we level it off, and that's the measurement, right? And this calls for 1 tablespoon of sugar, or teaspoon. Redact that. Retcon the tablespoons. Retcon.
So did you say 1 gallon of sugar?
You were putting words in my mouth.
Wait, is this enough? Right here, do I just pour this in like this?
No!
I'm confused.
Do it.
I heard gallon. I'm not sure what's enough. I have another bag if that's me.
Hey, I'm not a fan of using this term, but I'm going to use it now. It's fake news, guys. No gallon. Fake news on this gallon of sugars.
So we're adding that directly into our garlic situation.
Oh, okay. So this is what you want to do. Separate the sauteed garlic if you can, or use a different pan. So one of two things. Either use a new pan, or take the sauteed garlic and the butter off and put it in somewhere else, because the garlic will burn if you continue cooking it.
So what are we putting in this pan?
Got it.
Okay, you're going to put the one teaspoon of sugar.
Tablespoon?
You're going to put the 1 teaspoon of chicken bouillon, but chicken bouillon in Asian cooking language is not the cube. Again, it's like the powder. This what adds a lot of umami. I know it's umami, but I like to say umami because it brings out my Texas roots.
It's Miami.
Umami. But you put the teaspoon of sugar, teaspoon of chicken bouillon in the pan. Don't have it hot right now. This doesn't need it to be hot. 1 tablespoon of in Vietnamese we call it nước mắm. Nước mắm ngon quá, nước mắm. That's a really bad Vietnamese accent. And then 1 tablespoon of oyster sauce. Again, no heat right now. Just put it on the pan.
The pan's already hot, so it's.
The pan's already hot. Well,
it was hot from earlier.
Oh, use the other pan. Well, reduce heat. That's what. Reduce the heat.
Oh, the heat's off. The heat's off.
Okay. The point of this though, the reason why we're not mixing all these ingredients in is that you want to make sure the sugar's dissolved. That's really important because the sugar's not dissolved before you mix it in. Then you get the granules when you eat it, and someone can be like, "Did you put sand in this? Because it's kind of crunchy. What is this? What is this tasty, crunchy element? Was that intended? Was this the chicken skin you were supposed to eat last night but you threw away? What was that?" And by the way, my oyster sauce is really thick. So, before Heinz, there was thick oyster sauce. We're going to, and I don't know if Hudson's not of that generation, right? Where they would dance. Remember those Heinz commercials? They dance. Oh,
No.
By the way, there's a question up here because we're still cooking. It's been up here for a while, actually. It says, we have all spent so much time cooking at home this past year. Has anyone learned how to cook something new in this time?
I started smoking, like not cigarettes, but smoking meats. That was really cool.
But hey, that's the new commercial. Smoking meat's good. Smoking bad.
Exactly.
I started baking a lot.
Woo!
Same. I learned how to make bread for the first time because I felt like that was very pandemic-y, and I kept seeing these loaves on people's social media.
Yes.
Oh, once you combine all those ingredients, turn it over low heat, mix it up, and mix it up until the sugar is completely dissolved. So let me just reiterate that.
My sauce is like super thick. Is that how it should be?
That's fine, but just because the heat's off, right?
Yeah.
So Hudson, turn the heat on a little simmer and make sure and thin it out a little bit. How's everyone's noodles? Don't overcook them. Everyone check your noodles. And if you're flustered and all verklempt, turn off the heat on your pan and try the noodles and turn the heat back on. See, because I'm not good at talking and cooking at the same time, I'm actually simmering the pan with the sugar in it because I know it's going to burn behind me. Even though that's great television, that's not great for my relationship with my wife. Like, you know better not to do that.
Do you advise removing the plastic from the bottle before pouring?
What was that?
I'm just kidding. I was trying to pour this out, and I was like, "Why isn't it coming out?" And it's sealed.
Oh yes, that happens too. Yeah, word of advice: please remove the seal off newly opened bottles. Hey, come. Hey, Killian, say hi. Let's say hi, Killian. Say hi. Hi. Home.
My sauce is becoming a jelly.
Becoming a jelly? Hudson, is it overheat or not overheat?
It's overheat.
And is it over low heat or medium heat? That's you know what? It could be the oyster sauce you're using. Maybe it's just really thick.
It is super thick. So should I add some water or add some more fish oil? What should I do?
Fish sauce. You know what? Well, do you like fish sauce?
I mean, I don't know. It's not my favorite thing in the world. It's not my least favorite thing in the world.
It's not. Wait. Oh, I think we actually got the right answer. I don't know what's the answer. It's not the favorite thing in the world might be the real answer. You could add a little bit of water, or you could add a little pasta water in that if you want to see what happens.
You know what? I was thinking I was going to do that. I just didn't want to.
You can kind of make it your own kind of Asian carbonara and use the pasta water. Oh, what I forgot to tell you guys, and you didn't know, with noodles, the best way to cook noodles, the other thing you have to set up, and I'm gonna keep my food cam right here, is to set up an ice bath. I already have noodles in my ice bath. The best way to make an ice bath, by the way, is put water in a bowl and then don't get it out of the way, because what happens is if you put the ice in first and the water, it'll melt the ice as you put the water in. And then
Nice.
You already put it in an ice bath.
Well, I just did when you said that. I ran to
it. Then I should have given you the step before that. I'm such a horrible teacher. You should still wash them, but you know what? In the ice bath, you need to scrub it a little bit so you don't get that pasta film off the pasta. Right, mix it up.
And then just letting you know, Chef, we're at about 30 minutes. So we're about halfway through.
Hey, Matt.
Chef, if we
Matt,
forgot
don't tell me what to do.
if we forgot to
Sorry. Yes, go ahead. What were you saying?
If we forgot to bathe our pasta, is it too late?
No. So then just put it under water. Just continually put it under water and cool off. The reason for this is you're trying to shock the residual heat of the pasta so it doesn't continue cooking even if you're taking it out of the water. Because then if the pasta is the perfect texture that you want, now you don't pull it off enough, it'll get softer as time goes on. That's the only reason why.
Chef, should we add the garlic, butter, and noodles to the pan now, or what should we do next?
You can, yes, but you know, Hudson, this is why you go into the Harvards. You're an overachiever over here. Look at you. I didn't go to a community college, but I was kind of close to it. Actually, my degree is in computer science, which is something obviously I'm using that degree here. Can you show us show us what the sauce should look like? Mine is looking a little chunky. Oh, someone's cooking. Okay. Here, I'm gonna turn on the light. The light might blow out. Oh no, it doesn't. Okay. So this is what the sauce should look like. I'm on the food cam. This is what it should look like. It should be actually a medium to thin consistency because you're gonna make and even if it isn't. Oh, by the way, I forgot, Hudson. You actually mentioned something. Because the butter's not in there. The butter will thin it out too. Yeah. So once you add it to it, it will thin it out. So. And that is, Hudson actually is very intuitive. That the next step is eventually to add the butter and the garlic, but you don't want to do that until you have the noodles, because what you're going to do is you're going to mix the butter and garlic into the sauce, the sugar, chicken bouillon, and fish sauce. And once you mix that in, then you're going to stir fry the noodles in. And that's like you're like 99% there at the finish line of this dish. You going to show them your dry clay, Killian? That's right. Killian is dry clay.
So cute. Do you have more than one beautiful child?
Not that I know of.
Not that I know of. Oh boy.
That no comment. That's what I meant to say. No comment other than not that I know of.
You know, speaking of our children and heritage, as we celebrate Asian Pacific Islander Heritage Month, what does being Asian and Pacific Islander mean to you? I'm going to toss this one to Lana first.
To me, what does it mean to me? It means having a rich culture from which to draw. I'm mixed. I'm half Japanese, half Asian. But it means to experience growing up in Los Angeles. I had a lot of, burgers and pizza and that kind of thing. But I also got to have my mom's awesome cooking and her sushi and her yakisoba and gyoza and all kinds of delicious food. And I went to Japanese school as a kid, and I love having different heritages from which to draw and to learn new things and to be part of multiple groups. That's all very nice.
Wow, that's awesome. I can really relate to that. I went to Japanese school also when I was for high school, 9th and 10th grade. We had it at my local Buddhist church, and so I went. It was taught all in Japanese, so it was hard for me to understand, but it definitely forced me to learn a lot more, I think.
Yeah, I feel like you must have picked it up really quickly then. They just threw you in.
Definitely, yeah. I had a little tutor on the side that helped me through it all, but it definitely immersed me in the language and a lot of culture as well.
Awesome.
Chef, how about you?
What does it mean to be API from me? Generally just being comfortable in my skin and understanding where I come from and having appreciation of that. When I grew up, honestly, the funny thing about making Asian food now is I pretty much rejected most Asian food up until I was 18 because I was trying not to be different, right? I was trying not, it's not to say that I wanted to be white. I just didn't want to be Vietnamese. right? I didn't want to be outed for that all the time, and that meant me also shunning the food of my culture, and even though I grew up on it, I didn't appreciate it as much as I should have. I just being comfortable and understanding where I come from, and I'll give you one good example. Like, my parents didn't share very much, and I know that's a very Asian thing. And my mom one time would share one story about the Vietnam War with me. This is going to be kind of a downer, but she said that in her village, she was like 12 or 13. In her village, the VC, they called digging a hole in the village, and they didn't know what it was for, and then they lined up the elderly and buried them alive. And I know. And my mom was like, "This is why I can't talk to you about this, because it's too traumatic for me to relive." Like, this is, and the hardest part about that is, like, I understand where she's coming from, but I also don't have a lot of the stories that my parents would share with me either. So the other part of the answer is, like, trying to discover what it means to be Asian and Vietnamese on my own, and not to push my parents, not to force them to relive things that, not to force them to relive, like, memories that shouldn't have been experienced by anybody. And being proud of it, and to have that appreciation of what my parents sacrificed for me to get here. So no matter how much stress and how much I burnt my arms cooking and stuff like that, like, I have my parents to thank for trying to afford me a better life and coming here to America. So that's the long and the short of it I can give you. So.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely get that, and thank you for sharing. I definitely think it's hard, especially for that older generation, to share stories like that. And like, my grandmother is Okinawan, and she actually survived through the U.S. takeover of Okinawa, and so we actually don't know her birthday because her whole city was raised, and they had to redo all the records. And so when her eldest brother went to go redo all the records, he forgot what her birthday was, so he just picked some random day. And so we know it's in June, but we don't know the exact date. But yeah, I definitely can relate. Because there's definitely times where we don't. I feel it's hard to try to ask about these things too, because you don't want to bring up bad memories, and but I think it's also important to know and have that history, so that we make sure it doesn't happen again.
Correct. Can I stop? Can I pause for 1 second, see where everyone's at, just for a moment? Has everyone caught up? Everyone have their noodles already?
Ready?
Am done.
Okay. Oh, whoa. Okay.
Oh.
Okay, Hudson, don't show off. Take up. So let me to review. You're gonna combine the buttered garlic with the sauce that you made, over lower to medium heat. Combine it. Once they're mixed in, stir in your noodles and then plate it. And you're almost in. And then it's the garnish. And I don't want to step away from that. I feel like those stories are really important. I just want to make sure I'm keeping up with everyone else, though. So I apologize. So.
No, yeah. Thank you for keeping us too on the recipe. That helps too. But I wanted to, continuing that conversation, pass it over to Hudson.
So the question was, like, what's it mean to be Asian, right? To me?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a really tough question. I've always kind of struggled to answer because, I've grown up in a primarily American household. To me, it just means to kind of honor my ancestors. My grandmother, my grandfather, and everyone before them. I kind of live every day trying to make sure that, the hard work that my parents and grandparents went through to get me here and give me a good life and teach me their morals doesn't fall off and get replaced with American societal norms and moralities. So I guess, like you guys were saying, it's more important to remember than to try to forget or replace history.
Yeah, I definitely think it's important to honor your traditions and keep those keep stories going. and pass them down.
You know, Max, I just wanted to add something. You know, obviously
Sure.
not being Asian myself, but my parents are both immigrants, so I hear these stories and just really resonate with a lot of the same experiences. And I found myself, it's funny now that I have kids of my own, I realize how much more I want those stories to pass on to my own kids so that they can have a strong sense of culture and like what it means, and almost hear it from that first generation lived experience that, you know, lived and came. And so I love hearing these stories so much because it's the reminder that as much as there's a lot of differences, like there's a lot of similarities from our culture too, you know?
Definitely. Yeah, I think there's through culture you always that's what I love about learning new people's cultures too, is finding those parallels between your own and other cultures to see where we can have commonalities too, right?
Yeah.
And playing off of that too, are there any foods in your culture that are similar to these garlic noodles, or anything that it reminds you specifically about your culture?
So it's interesting you ask that question, Max, because I was thinking about it when I was looking at the recipe, and I was like, wow, you know, I don't really remember a ton of noodles growing up, except when my parents were trying to, you know, make spaghetti or, you know, have that American, you know, I mean, rice is so heavy in our culture. Like we would have spaghetti and still have like rice, you know, because it was just part of like, oh, we just make rice every day. Like that's what we do. But I was able to ask my Vamos board, and they came up with, actually, I have to like learn new things. Apparently Peruvian cuisine has a lot of Asian influence in some of the dishes. So one of my board members shared that she makes Peruvian tallarines saltados. And it's noodles, it has some soy sauce, it has some beef. And it kind of sounded, I'm like, oh, that's not so different from some of the, you know, ingredients that I was seeing here. Just, you know, add a little cilantro and make it Peruvian. So...
Oh yeah, definitely. When I was living out in Van Nuys for a while, that we had there was a bunch of Peruvian restaurants out there, and that was one of the big dishes were garlic noodles on the side with like the lomo saltado and dishes like that. It was definitely a favorite.
Yeah, I live in Van Nuys.
Oh wow, small world. Yeah, I was. I used to live over by that Galpin dealership.
Hey, I
off
bought a car
Roscoe.
from that dealership.
Oh wow, that's awesome. Small world.
Small world.
Also, just letting everyone know we're at the 15-minute mark. Not trying to tell you what to do, Chef, but.
I mean, see, we already getting there. You guys played it. Did you guys put like chopped scallions and like black pepper and like Parmesan cheese at all in it?
Oh, when were we supposed to add the soy sauce?
Oh no, so the soy sauce is if you're making the vegetarian version.
Oh,
So the soy sauce replaces the fish sauce.
This smells so good.
Thank you.
I added a bunch of raw shallots to the dish because I thought it'd be tasty. So
Interesting. Do you like it?
I love it. They're so juicy and sweet. It's great.
Look, look. At the end of the day, you garnish it the way you want to, right? I have like, and my wife was fortunate enough that she cut. I mean, this is kind of fancy. This is like cutting a onion on a bias. It's an angle. I don't know if you can see that. But yeah. So.
I made the shallots last night. I've never fried shallots before. It was a lot easier than I thought it would be.
Yeah, fried shallots are, and we can, in a lot of Asian stores you can buy pre-fried shallots, right? But it's, you know, frying shallots is even tastier. So.
Chef Nguyen, I'm in Jacksonville, Florida. I don't know if there are any Asian stores here.
There are some, I promise you.
Okay.
Someone.
That was actually my first thing. I went to a Korean market yesterday to try to look for fried shallots, and I couldn't find them. So I ended up just frying my own. It definitely was a lot easier than I thought.
Yeah, and I feel like they smelled so good when they came out. I was like, oh, they're very cute.
Super fragrant.
Yeah, I'm not a huge onion fan in general, but shallots are a little sweeter, right?
Yeah.
Funny
Funny for me, I got
kind of
everything
bitter.
I needed from. What's up?
I said when you eat them raw, they're kind of bitter a little bit. So
Oh, okay.
I don't know. The ones I have are really sweet. They have a little spice in the back too. It's great. I don't know.
good.
Nice.
I got everything I needed from Amazon Fresh, so I didn't need to go to a.
Nice.
Oh, and here's what I mean. This is what my noodles look like. If anyone wants to see it, so I don't know.
Beautiful.
I'd show mine again, but I already butchered it with my mouth.
I know. Look, it's good. Well, you've had them before, right, Hudson? Because you come to Button Mash sometimes, right? I'm pretty sure we made these for your rap party the first season, but I don't. That was a long time ago, actually. So.
So
That
what?
was like 6 years ago. 7.
And last step is stuff your face with noodles. That's the last step. This past year was also super important to support local businesses. Can you share one of your favorite places to order from? Anybody?
So, I don't know if anyone knows this. It's not an Asian restaurant, but it's one of my favorite breakfast places to go to. It's called C&M Cafe. That's one of my favorite local businesses that I just adore. Like their food is so good. I'm not sure if it's I don't know. That's my favorite restaurant right now. Or shameless plug. Sorry, not sorry on Pico.
No.
I wonder who
what
owns
would you
that
like?
restaurant, but great food, great drinks, great place to go to when you're relaxing.
Okay, now so the first part wasn't the plug. That last part, that was the plug. That was the sell. That was the hard sell right there.
Yeah.
I'll give you one. It's a place that a lot of people don't know about. It's actually here in Van Nuys. It's called it's literally it's very generic. Pollo al carbon, which is a style of chicken. But this place, it's on it's in Van Nuys. It's on. Oh man, I just went to it right before I came here too. It's a little shack on Woodman. It's on Woodman, and the place is really deceiving. But this is what I'll tell you. This is a quote from a friend of mine who's like a beer guy. This is like a Michelin star chicken place. It's fantastic. And the thing about it is they do the same. All they do is make this chicken. That's all they make, and they have this huge grill. They make the chicken outside, like actually in the dining area, and they take it back into the little shack to serve it, and it's fantastic. Pollo al carbon. It's life changing.
Also in Van Nuys, have you been to Lucy's Mediterranean Grill?
This is good.
Cafe? Yes?
Yes, the place is good. Their chicken's really good.
I love that place. Highly recommended. I've eaten there a lot during the pandemic.
It's on Victory, right?
That sounds right. I'm very bad at remembering things like that. But sure, we'll go with
It's Lucy's with an S. Lusy. Yeah.
Yes. And their baklava is chef's
Oh, because it's fresh. It's fresh. Real baklava.
so good.
Yeah. Max? Carla?
Well, I'm not too far from you, Chef. I'm in Encino, so I'm loving all these Van Nuys recommendations because I usually head over there, get my pupusa. But one of my favorites during the pandemic has been this little restaurant called Claudine's, and they just have really great breakfast. Like when I don't want to cook, they have a really great sandwich for lunch. So
That guy, the chef, owner, is a friend of mine.
oh, really?
He's one of the nicest guys. And by the way, that guy's classically trained. He's he's a hoity-toity chef. He actually comes from that background, but he's one of the nicest guys. He gives back to the community. He sometimes I miss him at the restaurant. He's like, oh man, I'm sorry, I had to go to my daughter's soccer practice. You quality of life too, amazing.
You wouldn't tell that it's it's really good food, but I love that it's also yummy, just comfort food can hit a lot of different notes. I love their chorizo tacos for breakfast.
Oh,
They're
cool.
to me mind blowing, but
Max, how about you?
So I'm actually right now out in Orange County. Once I moved here from Van Nuys, so I recently just found a new place called the Soup and Noodle. That's a Vietnamese place. They have pho. And then they also have some lomo saltado and Peruvian. Also,
Soup noodle bar. Soup noodle bar. That's what it's called.
Yeah,
right?
I think so. Something like that. Yeah.
Best pho I've ever had. Period. Possibly outside of Vietnam.
Whoa.
I'm not even kidding. You get it's like northern pho. You get like I'm sorry to steal this. You keep on going. It's amazing.
No. Good. Go for it.
They do like Peruvian stuff, but their pho is spectacular. It's immaculate. It's clean. And it's so flavorful. And you get a fried egg. Oh, you got to get it shaken style, right? Because they stir fry the vegetables in bone marrow and put it in the pho. And add this layer of smokiness into the pho. It's fun. And I'm not even kidding. Like it's not to say I had a lot of fun. I'm not saying as a Vietnamese person, but I've had a lot of pho. I love pho. Best pho in America. Possibly best pho I've had in the world. It's really close.
Wait, can someone make a Google Doc with all of these? I want to go to all of them.
Why isn't that a question that pops up? I have to answer one question though. Someone said, "Chef, what's your go-to knife of choice?" So my knife of choice, and it's partially because my wife leaned me into this because it's easier to work with, kind of. But I like sashimi knives a lot. Well, there's a reason why. There's part of the reason why I have sashimi knives too, because they're long and they're not thick like a. So here's like a chef's knife, right? That's a chef's knife. With a sashimi knife, it forces you have to cut. Instead of cutting down, you have to slice. It's almost the only way you should use it, and it forces you to work with that slicing motion. And when you do that, you also get better. You cut your vegetables better. You get better prep anything, and it's just something about the fluidity of just like, look at that. How's that? That doesn't mean anything to you, but it feels good. It sure feels good. I like sashimi knives. I don't know if he was asking about brand or about type of knife, but I love sashimi. Man, these were two different sashimi knives. So,
what about brand? What's your favorite or one of your?
You know what? I'm not good about that. Like this is like global, which is like the low end of the professional scale, but like they're really good actually, right?
I have
what is that?
Global set as well. Same thing.
Oh, you have global? Yeah, global.
I've also been using Shun, which is like really good. It stays sharp for a really long time. But Global's great. Global's pretty. Yeah. It's not that expensive, and it's a really great knife.
Yeah, Shun is on the high end. But you know what I do like about Global is their steel is really good because it has like little crystals in there. So we have a Shun, we have a Global. I mean, the best answer I can give you about brand of knife is you get one that feels good to you. The reason why you buy expensive knives is that they don't dull as quickly. But if you're not working in a professional kitchen, you don't have to worry about it as much. If you cook a lot, then a really good knife does make a huge deal because it stays sharp longer, right? You don't have. And by the way, I think you're gonna cut yourself. You're cutting yourself with a dull knife, sucks. Cutting your knife with a sharp knife, you don't even know what happens. Sometimes you're like, did I just cut myself? And all of a sudden you see the blood, like, I did just cut myself. But because it's good, I don't even feel it.
Oh no!
But a chef will always say a dull knife is more dangerous than a sharp knife because with a dull knife you kind of like have to force it and like kind of push down harder. And then if you actually cut yourself, you're gonna cut off your finger. With a sharp knife, where it's basically using barely any motion and letting the knife do the work, it's gonna cut you because it's sharp, but it's not gonna cut you because you're pressing down. But it's not gonna cut through your finger, cut through your hand, you know. So that's why you buy more expensive knives or just sharpen your knives every week or month. That's what I do. So.
And this is why Hudson Yang is a star, everyone. He takes the show. He takes it. That's it. No, that was really I completely agree with you. That's it.
I would have to say I have joined the Clean Plate Club. Sorry.
Nice. I'm saving noodles for my family.
Still be sautéing the garlic.
What? Did you not combine the garlic into your noodles?
No, I was totally joking. I'm almost done eating too. It's so good.
I wasn't sure because it was pretty good deadpan. That's why. Look at you. You're an actor. You're an actor. Right? You're an actor.
This is so good. It really. I'm very excited.
Yes, if you want to try to make it, buy this book.
Thank you.
Yes.
Adventures of Star Kitchen by Nguyen Tran. Great recipes in here.
By the way, Hudson Yang, a spokesperson for Shun Knives, Global Knives, Starry Kitchen, Fresh Off the Boat, Harvard. I can't remember the name of the restaurant.
Coke Zero. No.
Yeah, Coke Zero. You may have seen him from.
Speaking of your book, let's raffle some off.
Oh, cool.
So we have selected 4 raffle winners at random, and if your name is called, please email arcburbank@warnerbrothers.com, and within the hour, and we will coordinate to send you your prize. So our winners are Christine Gonzalez and Donna Glassford. You've each won a $100 gift card to Goldbelly.
Wow.
And then Yuri Lee and Rukshan Thenurara. Sorry if I messed up your name. You've each won a copy of Chef's Cookbook, Adventures in Starry Kitchen.
Winner, Starry Kitchen dinner.
Oh,
So
and whoever
if you see your name here.
And whoever at Warner's, if you guys want to coordinate with me, I have these signed. They call them book plates. I have these stickers. I can sign them and I can send them to you for your book. But if you don't want to devalue your book, then I don't have to sign it. I don't.
Well then, yeah. If you see your name here, I guess we'll get you a signed copy of the book as well. Let's just do it. Oh yeah, congrats to our winners, and thank you everyone for joining us. Just to wrap up, Hudson, Lana, Chef, anything coming up or anything you want to share with us?
Well, on my adventures of cooking, this summer I'm going to Taiwan, and I'm going to be cooking in a restaurant out there, living out there for a couple months. And, hopefully after college, I will be opening my own restaurant. We'll see. I'm planning on it, hoping for it. So you're all invited. Just keep your eyes out for whatever this man has next. All right?
Yes.
Looking forward to it.
Can I give you my next up? I don't want to open restaurants anymore, so I think I'll be a janitor at Hudson's restaurant. That's what next. Spending time with my child. I don't know. I might be writing another book, but it's a different kind of book. I might be working on some crazy dining conversation show, but everything's really. I used to work in film, by the way, everyone. So I used to work at William Morris. If that helps anyone else, I know how speculative all this is. So you know what's coming up next? I have no idea, but I'm happy to be the janitor at Hudson's restaurant whenever he opens it, so I can advise him not to open it. Not because I don't trust him, because it's a tough gig. It's a tough gig.
Yeah. Everyone always says you got to be a little bit crazy to either be a chef or open a restaurant, and I definitely am a lot of it crazy. So
okay, fair enough. I try to scare you, so I'm just gonna have to work for you now.
How about you, Lana? Anything coming up?
I've got a couple animated series and video games that I've been doing over the pandemic coming out, but I'm not allowed to say what they are, so it's a terrible answer, and I apologize. I will also be a janitor at Hudson's restaurant.
You're all welcome to, by the way. I have like 3 janitor spots available, I'm sure.
Well, 2 are taken now, so somebody else has to call the last one.
I thought we were gonna fight for it, but now we can just be friends.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just visit. I will just be a patron because I love trying new restaurants. So
Yeah, we got 2 new customers here.
Awesome.
Well, thanks everyone for joining us.
Janitorial staff.
I guess we could all coordinate our shifts.
I feel like I can be like
That way you get
support.
full coverage. So I hope everyone enjoyed spending time with us and enjoying their lunch. If you enjoyed this event, please consider joining our ARC BRG on Warner Media One, so you can follow along with more fun food events like this. You can sign up through Workday, and also look out for our Take Care Tuesday event next week on May 18th in honor of Mental Health Awareness Month, where you can take part in doing practical exercises to help reduce stress, like maybe eating some noodles. But this one will be led by shiatsu expert Alan Sawatari and life coach Lisa DeNicola. And also look out for our cross studio mixer next week on May 20th, where you can network with other studios. So make sure to RSVP for both of these exciting events.
All right.
You can also continue the cooking fun by watching episodes of Family Style on Stage 13's website and continue the chat on Facebook through their group Family Style Foodie Fans. So you can also email our Arc Burbank at Warner Brothers with your photos of your garlic noodles, so we can include them in our newsletter for next week. So thanks everyone. Enjoy your garlic noodles, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
Thanks everyone.
I'm going to the zoo. Later.
Can someone save me some? Like, freeze it. I'm hungry.
Food, it's food. Family Style is back for seconds with new foods. Ooh, I can't wait.
You got your steak, sushi, tuna, salmon.
We just dig in.
It tastes healthy and I feel healthy.
Boom. Have you tried chicken feet before?
I've never tried chicken feet. With new friends.
I'd like you to meet Shannon Lee, daughter of Bruce Lee.
Wow. Jimmy O Yang. Jimmy O Yang. And new conversations.
I became flexitarian recently.
Power was that he could literally eat anything. I was 8 years old when we immigrated to the US. My parents worked really hard to make sure that we had a good childhood.
The next step is defining what Asian American is or mixed race. It's that natural
fusion. Grab a plate, get your friends, and let's talk.
Is it true that a lot of Koreans, they like every meal has to have some kimchi?
Yes.
How much kimchi do you produce here every day?
This is delicious.
That was amazing.
What a story! Really 3-act structure in this unscripted show.